Hello, friends. This is Martin speaking. I really need your support. Please subscribe to the channel before watching. In this episode, we will discuss three very important topics. Each topic is important and interesting, so be sure to watch our episode until the end. Topic number 1. U.S. lawmakers' shocking move to avoid war with China. What's their plan? Topic number 2. Trust in the West crumbles as Putin blasts restrictions on dollar payments. Is the U.S. system rotten? Topic number 3. Putin's startling revelation. Is Russia really considering peace talks in Ukraine? Topic number 1. U.S. lawmakers have recently voiced their apprehensions regarding the potential for conflict in the Taiwan Strait and underscored the significance of preventing armed hostilities with China. During a discussion at the Council on Foreign Relations, Representatives Mike Gallagher and Raja Krishnamurthy elucidated the severe repercussions that could ensue from a conflict between the two nations. They stressed the importance of the United States maintaining its status as a global power through strategic management of its relationship with China, coupled with fortifying its alliances with other countries. Gallagher has expressed concerns about China's economic and demographic challenges, suggesting that these factors could lead Chinese President Xi Jinping to adopt a more unpredictable and risk-prone approach. He contends that the measures proposed by the Biden administration to restrict investment in specific Chinese sectors fall short of what is needed, advocating for a more discerning and calculated approach to disengaging from China when national security is at stake. Krishnamurthy has criticized the United States for not taking swift action to bolster Taiwan's defense capabilities. He highlights the Chinese Communist Party's apparent disregard for international norms and raises doubts about Xi's commitment to adhering to established protocols. To counter China's actions, Krishnamurthy promotes a hedging strategy that safeguards American values, industries, and commerce, while fostering collaboration with partners and pursuing bilateral trade agreements. He believes that such international pressure could potentially influence China's behavior. These lawmakers recently led a delegation to New York, where they underscored the risks associated with investing in China for financial and business leaders. They conducted a tabletop simulation of a conflict scenario in the Taiwan Strait, with the aim of increasing awareness and comprehension among participants. Additionally, Gallagher had previously expressed support for Taiwan during his visit to the country earlier in the year. The viewpoints expressed by Gallagher and Krishnamurthy offer valuable insights into the concerns surrounding a potential conflict in the Taiwan Strait and the imperative for peaceful resolutions. Their perspectives advocate for a nuanced approach in managing relationships with China by safeguarding national interests, strengthening alliances, and fostering international cooperation. In considering the issues raised by these lawmakers, it becomes evident that the situation in the Taiwan Strait is complex and laden with strategic implications. The concern over a possible conflict in this region is not to be taken lightly, as it could have far-reaching consequences not only for the United States and China, but also for the broader international community. Gallagher's apprehension about China's economic and demographic challenges is rooted in the idea that when a nation faces internal difficulties, its leadership may resort to external actions to divert attention or bolster domestic support. While this viewpoint acknowledges the potential for unpredictability, it is essential to note that economic and demographic challenges alone do not necessarily lead to aggression. Historical examples show that countries facing internal issues may also choose diplomatic or peaceful means to address their concerns. Moreover, Gallagher's call for a more selective and strategic approach to decoupling from China raises questions about the feasibility and potential consequences of such a strategy. Decoupling from the world's second-largest economy is a complex endeavor with numerous economic, political, and diplomatic ramifications. It would require careful consideration of how to protect national security interests without causing undue harm to global economic stability and the interconnectedness of industries. Krishnamurthy's criticism of the United States for not taking swift action to enhance Taiwan's defense capabilities reflects concerns about the island's security in the face of a rising China. It highlights the delicate balance the U.S. must strike between supporting its allies and avoiding actions that could escalate tensions in the region. The question of how much military support to provide to Taiwan is a contentious one, as it involves considerations of both deterrence and the risk of provocation. Krishnamurthy's advocacy for a hedging strategy, which aims to protect American interests while engaging in bilateral trade agreements and collaborating with partners, aligns with the broader U.S. foreign policy goal of upholding the rules-based international order. The effectiveness of such a strategy, however, hinges on the willingness of other nations to join in and apply pressure on China collectively. It also requires careful diplomacy to avoid pushing China into a defensive posture. In conclusion, the concerns expressed by Representatives Mike Gallagher and Raja Krishnamurthy shed light on the complex and multifaceted nature of the issues surrounding the Taiwan Strait and the U.S.-China relationship. As observers and stakeholders, it is essential to engage in a thoughtful and informed discussion about these matters, considering the various perspectives and potential consequences. What are your thoughts on this topic? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Topic number 2. Trust in the West crumbles as Putin blasts restrictions on dollar payments. Is the U.S. system rotten? The limitation placed on payments in U.S. dollars has prompted various countries to consider utilizing their national currencies for transactions and keeping their savings outside of the United States. This development has caused a decline in trust towards the West, according to Russian President Vladimir Putin's remarks at the Eastern Economic Forum, EEF, in Vladivostok. Putin highlighted the consequences of imposing restrictions on dollar payments, which have led countries to contemplate the creation of alternative payment systems and reevaluate the desirability of investing their savings in U.S. or European assets. The erosion of confidence in those who enforce such limitations becomes increasingly apparent. Furthermore, Putin emphasized the need to establish agreements with businesses to foster a sense of reliability in operating within Russia. He discussed how the supply chain for goods has almost been fully restored and indicated that stability is partially derived from the exchange rate of the national currency. In this context, Putin emphasized the importance of fostering a balanced partnership between the state and businesses. The 8th edition of the Eastern Economic Forum is currently underway, taking place at the Far Eastern Federal University from September 10 to 13. Vladivostok serves as the official media partner of this forum. PUTIN characterizes CHERUMPSPROCCUCILN as REFFLETIN routine U.S. system. Speaking at a forum in Vladivostok, Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed his opinion that the ongoing prosecution of former U.S. President Donald Trump is politically motivated and illustrates the rottenness of the American political system. Putin further asserted that significant changes in U.S.-Russia relations seem unlikely, regardless of the next U.S. president's identity. Donald Trump, a leading contender for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, faces a series of criminal charges, including allegations related to his attempts to overturn the outcome of the 2020 presidential election in which he was defeated by Joe Biden. Highlighting the present situation in the United States, Putin underscored the flaws within the American system and the targeting of political opponents for political gain through the persecution of Trump. It is worth inviting the audience to consider these developments and form their own opinions. The comments section below can serve as a platform for individuals to share their thoughts and perspectives on the topic. Topic number 3. Putin's startling revelation. Is Russia really considering peace talks in Ukraine? The topic of whether Russia is willing to cease fighting in Ukraine has generated curiosity among potential mediators. The Russian President, Vladimir Putin, recently shared his perspective on the matter, suggesting that Ukraine may only consider entering peace talks when it exhausts its resources and hopes to utilize a potential lull in hostilities to rearm with the assistance of Western powers. These remarks were made during an economic forum in Vladivostok, where Putin highlighted Ukraine's unsuccessful counteroffensive against Russian forces, resulting in significant losses for their military. Putin expressed the impression that Ukraine seeks to maximize its territorial gains before initiating negotiations, seemingly intending to revive its military capabilities by replenishing its resources and restoring readiness once they are almost depleted. This observation raises doubts regarding Russia's ability to halt its military operations when faced with Ukraine's ongoing counteroffensive. Furthermore, Putin mentioned that numerous potential mediators have inquired about Russia's readiness to stop fighting, implying the significance of this question in the current context. However, in order to establish any possibility for dialogue, Putin stated that Ukraine must first rescind its self-imposed legal ban on peace talks and clarify its objectives. He concluded by asserting that the situation would become clearer once Ukraine takes these steps. As it stands, Russia commands around 18% of Ukrainian territory, including Crimea, which was annexed in 2014, along with a significant portion of eastern and southern Ukraine in 2022. Although Ukraine has managed to reclaim some villages, their efforts to regain substantial territories have yet to yield significant breakthroughs. In his speech, Putin criticized the West's decision to supply Ukraine with cluster bombs and depleted uranium munitions, labeling it as a crime. He also expressed disapproval of the provision of S-16 jets to Ukraine, further emphasizing his concerns regarding external involvement in the conflict. When asked about the necessity of implementing obligatory mobilization in Russia, Putin responded that the recruitment of military personnel through voluntary contracts was already on an upward trajectory. Reportedly, 1,000 to 1,500 individuals sign up daily, with 270,000 enlistments recorded over the past 6 to 7 months. In light of these developments, it is important to analyze the situation from a neutral standpoint, considering multiple perspectives and drawing conclusions based on available information. The complexities of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine underscore the need for a balanced assessment, leaving the audience to form their own opinions. We invite our readers to share their thoughts on this matter in the comments section below.